I think that is the most excited I've been for a VRChat developer blog. You want to know why? We finally get a look into the text-to-text chat box, and we get to take a look at the camera. This is the development blog update from last night, August the 10th, 2022. Let's cover it. So this is where it gets fun. So let's have a look at what we have for today. This is the developer update for August 10th, 2022, and of course, our boy Tupper is back on the case. He says, hello and welcome to the latest VRChat developer blog update for August the 10th, 2022. For context, you might want to check out yesterday's update, and I will always link these updates in the description below if you guys want to check that out. First off, they did mention a schedule change in terms of these developer blogs. They're going to go to from every day to twice a week starting next week. Tuesday and Friday expect a video. Eventually, we'll be working to them for one per week at one point. So watch out for that possibility. Here's the release plan. According to what is on the board, VRChat 2022.2 to 0.2.3, let's just call it P3, is scheduled to move to live soon. We're aiming for tomorrow, August 11th. That's today, actually. Of course, this might slip depending on many factors. So look out for a possible new release today, or later today, I should say, for the P3 update, if you will. Next is for me. Next is for me and for our beta lovers. 2022.2.2 P4 live beta. We're aiming for another live beta after P3 goes out, or perhaps on Friday, just to spend the workload a bit. P4 isn't locked yet, so we're not sure what's going to be in it. It will include many of the features we've been talking about in these updates, but haven't released yet. And speaking of features, here we go. This is where it gets fun. I've been waiting patiently for what could be the features of this. And finally, today's the day. We get the camera, or wait, is it? There's a prototype. And let's take a look at this video, guys, before I read the details. Let's see what you think. Ah, yes. Oh, this is gonna be nice. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. That looks so cool for VRChat. So, if you think, here's the details. I'm so excited for this. This still has yet way to go for some controls to work out, but we thought you'd like to see the prototype. Now, the more astute among you are probably saying, hey, wait a minute, that's basically drone mode, doesn't work in VR. It doesn't work in VR yet, but it should. We're moving on to that next. There might be a version or two where this is a desktop only feature, but we want to work a VR controllable drone mode so you can move your camera less around or having to physically place it. Since users you do a lot with drone mode, we probably make sure things like a reset controls, control guides, and more. This mode could also tie into other features people are requesting, such as the camera animation system. That one isn't in design or engineering yet, but we like the idea a lot. This is going to be under design and iteration, so you're gonna have to wait for this one to come out. But I'm gonna tell you, that camera looks sick. It's super sick, if you ask me. I'm excited. Next one. The next one is gonna be, go ahead right here. The next one is the other one, the ear muff. We're trying to add an option that affects avatar audio. In public instances, it works really well. We thought about maybe having interact with world audio sources too, but this has some serious knock-ons that also completely break the bunch of worlds, so we're avoiding it. This is currently an iteration and has a prototype, but it's not ready yet. For those of you who like CPU affinity, that is for you, but that is only for those who like programming. And I'm not going to dive into it much. I will tell you if you guys are into this, this is for you. We added the ability to tweak logical processor affinity for advanced users. You can set the logical processors VRChat is locked to by using the affinity. This code affinity min equals to bitmask launch option. For example, to lock VRChat into using only the first 16 logical processors, you'd add the code affinity equals 0x and then 4x at the end to your Steam launch option. So if you guys are into like processors, that's for you. Most users won't need to use this option, and it's most likely useful for high-end AMD CPUs to deal with latency. Please look up your individual CPU to find the best configuration. It's good. So if you guys are into like all this code stuff, that's for you guys. I am not going to dive into it. That is not for me. Hide avatar globally. This feature lets you hide an avatar globally, which means you won't ever see the avatar no matter who is wearing it. The only exception, of course, with the show avatar turned on for a specific user. This task is now in QA. I got pressed back to in development due to some edge case failures. So it's going to be back and forth with this one. So if you guys are waiting for that, you're going to have to wait for a little bit. Now we get into the good stuff. Now it's time for the text-to-text chat box, text-to-text or TTT. Here's where they have on the board. We're getting a new internal build of the TTT chat box directly ready that has a bunch of fixes and tweaks. Some of these include networking improvements, a visual indicator of when a message you're typing won't be able to display due to settings, shifting the chat box settings from the action menu to the quick menu, and adding a new option to change the transparency of the chat box. Additionally, we added some OSC endpoints for folks to play around with. For example, /chatbox/input space S space B. Input text in the chat box that either shows it immediately, bypassing the keyboard, or open the keyboard to populate it with the provided text, but don't send it. Next one is /chatbox/typing space B. Toggle the typing indicator on or off. So let's have a look at this in action. Let's take a look at this in action to see if you guys have an idea of what it could look like. This looks like a desktop version. As you can see, we have chat box. That's a little preview of what it looks like. This actually looks cool, to be honest. And then you have commands. And you can send the messages, and you can toggle the keyboard. The message will open the keyboard and no, not sent yet. That actually looks cool. That looks nuts. It looks super cool. I could see myself using that for something. But I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, because I want to see where this goes in development. Because once it goes into development more, I can imagine myself, I could see myself using this for something. I'm not going to tell you what it is though. It has something to do with Emerald Hunters, but that's it. Let's just put it that way. Next thing. We're also looking into ways to adjust the precision of the chat box, since looking over someone's head might be getting tiring. Feature is in QA. It might be make it to our upcoming build. Next one is text to speech, TTS, and speech to text to speech or STTS are also in this particular team's task list, but they're focusing on one item at a time. Thankfully, community created applications such as Rabbit RabidCrab's STT or Wizard's TTS Voice Wizard. If you guys want to check that out, you guys can. The links will be in the description below. Pair with OSC inputs into VRChat's text box system. We cover a lot of bases until we get to native implementations. So I will show you guys this. I'll put it in the description below if you guys need it. So this is how it looks like. So this is the STT, speech to text. It is a Patreon thing in VRChat for this one and for VRChat. Better way to communicate in VRChat. That looks actually cool. And then the next one is from Wizards TTS Voice Wizard. Let's have a look at this boy. And this is a GitHub thing. If you guys like GitHub, that is for you. So check this out when you have the opportunity. I will be putting the links in the description for those if you guys need it. So make sure you guys check that out. Here's some other stuff. That is for legal material. It's legal stuff, so you need to know about this. Terms of use and privacy policy update. We have updated our terms of service or TOS and provide on our privacy policy, both of which are effective today, August 10, 2022. You'll be prompted to on your next VRChat login to accept those TOS changes. Again, because of the EAC update, you have to accept these new changes because of the new update with AAC Easy Anti-Cheat. I will have to do this today anyway because of our VRChat episode live. These changes mostly consist of general course updates to ensure our documentation aligns with our operations, and to ensure these documents make sense with ongoing changes into regulation around the world. These changes also include the specific updates relating to the integration of EAC into VRChat Easy Anti-Cheat. Next one is feedback, and I believe there is something else to consider. Next one. There's been a lot of chatter in these threads about other features requests, such as avatar scaling and avatar search. Avatar search. Does that sound familiar to anybody? If it is, it's because it's something that one of my buddies does. Shout out to Bolts the Hedgehog. Avatar search. Because if you guys remember, we did a Shadie episode for the VRChat, and he got to play as Bowser. And because of that, we got to include that Bowser scene. Shout out to that. Shout out to my own video as well. Now, I'll link that one too in the description below if you guys want to check out that recent Shadie VRChat highlight video. That was a lot of fun. It's important to note that just because we aren't actively working on a feature suggestion you've made, or that a lot of people are making, that doesn't mean we're taking your feedback into the development process, or that we are ignoring you. It just means that we don't have anything to say about it just yet. Give us time. We're working on a lot of stuff, and yes, they are working on a lot of stuff. Like you saw the camera, you saw the TTS, you got the TTT, the text-to-text chatbot. Box. So those are a lot of new stuff that we're about to get. You just have to wait. I'm excited for that camera though. That camera looks thick. And I cannot wait to use it. You know me. I love my cameras and my screenshots. You never know. I might use that for something in the VRChat highlights. Just a little hint, wink, wink. Please keep giving us feedback. Info we get from these threads are exceptionally useful. Has made changes to features that are available right now. Next, conclusion. That's it for today. as mentioned above, we'll be trying to release 2022.2.2.2p3 tomorrow. That's today. We'll also be trying to give another live beta out sometime this week, maybe tomorrow, maybe Friday, we'll see. I am so excited, guys, for this. The camera. This thing looks so sick. I think I need to show it twice. I don't usually do this, but I gotta show this twice. That looks so sick. But what is it? I think it's more of a camera drone. But I'm gonna tell you guys before I close this video, I do see a little bit of a, I do see kind of a problem. I love this thing. I love where they're going. But I see a little bit of a problem if they do it wrong. Okay, so while I love this idea of this camera drone material, it looks like a camera drone to me. Because that's what they said in the description. But if you take a look at it, what else can you do with a drone? You fly around with a drone, right? Like in IRL. You put camera on drone, you go high in the air, you can see LA, Los Angeles, whatever. You can take a good view of LA or whatever you want. But in VRChat, it gets really tight, it gets really touchy if you do it wrong. Like avatars. If you position the camera in the wrong place, you're gonna get in trouble. I'm not gonna tell you what the wrong place is for the sake of this channel, since we just got monetized. But you get my point. And then there's a case of private conversations. What happens if that thing is being recording? That's the thing. Can you put earmuff on top of the camera? Like, can you put an earmuff mode in a camera to prevent private conversations from being recorded? That's the only drawback I could see when it comes to this camera feature, but I love it. That's the thing. I love this camera feature. I cannot wait to use it. So that's the update, guys. If you guys enjoyed what you saw, if you guys enjoyed what I got to see, if you guys enjoyed the camera, the text-to-text chat box, and all that good stuff, smack that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. And in the comment section, the question of the day is very simple. Which feature are you looking forward to? Desktop camera or / the drone? The text-to-text chat box or TTT? Or something we covered in a previous update? Let me know in the comments below, and make sure you guys hit that new super thanks button if you guys want to support the channel. If you do hit that super thanks button and decide to do so, your name will be coming up in the next VRChat highlight video, which is going to be the infinite takeover highlight video when it comes out after this week. Coming up, this one is for the Shadie one. Keep that in mind. Okay, see you guys very soon in another video for this channel, and see you guys for the VRChat at 5:15.